For God's sake, it's less than 55 minutes.
Hello, Al Pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends. The film from 1969, the star-studded Marooned. What a huge, big, impressive cast this had. Story from Martin Caidin. And if people don't recognize the name of Martin Caidin, well, he's the guy who gave us the $6 Million Man, and wrote a pretty decent little Buck Rogers novel too, for those who may not realize. Let's see anybody who's joined us yet. I do know that Lady Mist had left a little message in earlier. It disappeared now, sadly, and as did FKHC. I can't remember that. Tim left it to, and this would be FKHC, right?
Mm-hmm.
FKHC 2000. I can't remember it. I'm sure he'll pop up. Yeah, I'm sure he'll pop up.
I'm sure he'll be here.
But yeah, the film Maroon. Well, he should, because it was kind of him that suggested it. It had come up a couple times. And it was always on the short list, kind of, to kind of watch. So I was like, well, you know what? It's on my mind. Let's go ahead and do it. But yeah, Maroon. Have you ever seen it?
I have. Yeah. And not just the Mystery Science Theater version. So,
that is true. This is probably one of the bigger budgeted Mystery Science 3000 covers that they've ever done. They used the title Space Travelers when they did it, or something like that, instead of Marooned. I don't know why, but yes, we're gonna watch the regular version. We are starting a little early because I always like to make sure that we don't go up against another show. The movie is a little over 2 hours. Didn't want to run into Last Call. Why? Because I'm a nice guy. So anytime we have a long movie, we're gonna like shift a little bit. Now, the next time that'll happen, that I'm aware of anyway, do want to put out that on June 20th. So in a little over a month, gonna have a special rewatch that is a Friday night. And that's going to start at 7 because Jaws is a little over 2 hours. Well, I just gave it away. We're going to be watching Jaws because it is the 50th anniversary of probably the OG summer blockbuster. It's kind of the movie that really started to change how movies were released and marketed, and Star Wars came along and like everything really changed, but Jaws really did kind of start it. It is the original summer blockbuster as far as I am concerned. Let's see, nobody in chat yet. We do have some eyes on us, so if anybody wants to say, oh, there's JPRPH1. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. The film, I'm going to be showing it on my Cosby link. Got the link tapped up there at the top. It is also, I've got a link. Film is free on Tubi. So yes, if you're watching this on YouTube, the film will not show. It's just going to be our floating heads with the little halos around it talking about the movie. If you're live with us, join us on Cosme. But if you're late and you do want to hear us kind of prattle on about what's going on in the movie, or just whatever we might happen to get off topic with, you could take it up with Tubi and listen along on YouTube as well. So it's out there. So don't leave bad messages because you came here looking for the film and it wasn't here. Just saying, it happens. But yeah, I will say I've seen this film one time, quite a while ago, and I was only half paying attention. I remember the end. I remember the tension. I kind of like the styling of it. There's very little music in it. It's more sound, the background soundscapes, and everybody, there's a different thing. Each one. Jerry Lahane, thank you for joining in. I'm one of the strangest visitors. Star Trek Ghost Rider designed Mars rover, created Predator, found people on Mars 2004. Very interesting there. Like, share, subscribe. Mars people live more in underground cities. Okay. Actually, that would not surprise me, but well, we'll see when we get there. And I think we'll be there within the next 25 years. What do you think? What do you think, deleted scenes? 25 years, man on Mars?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, let Elon Musk keep checking those ships out. We'll get there. Don't get in anybody's way or get upset or start trying to stop things from happening because you're upset at Tesla. I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to key this car. How dumb is that? I don't know. But anyway, let's get to the movie. Like I said, if you want to go to Cosby, I see JPRPH has the tick on there. That's pretty cool. Stop with the notification button. God, I hate that. Okay, local file, load the video file, and I just have to find it. I gotta look at the right file. There we go. Okay, let me pause for a moment. Okay, 3 seconds in for those who are wondering. You ready to go, deleted scenes? Everybody ready to shoot into space?
Yep, ready to go.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. 5, 7 seconds. Columbia. Columbia Pictures presents Frankovich Sturgis. That sounds like a law firm. Gregory Peck. Little did we know back then that Gregory Peck would be the grandfather of Spock. James Franciscus, who would one day follow Charlton Heston to Planet of the Apes. You notice a lot of the names of the astronauts are kind of plays off of actual astronauts. Did you notice that?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah, Jim Pruitt's like Lovell, and you got Clayton Stone for Deke Slayton, and Buzz Lloyd, of course, Buzz Aldrin.
And of course, those of you who have seen Space Travelers, as it's called, you will see very obviously that the here's the deal. Okay, there was this group that was called Film Ventures, and they went and they bought up a lot of titles and put them on, kind of re-edited them, changed the titles, changed out the opening credits like these, and basically, they put these movies out on cable access. And that's how Space Travelers comes about. Is that it's basically
So basically, it went into
edited down to like 90 minutes.
yeah. So did it go into what's the word? Public domain, or do they just buy they bought the rights?
I think they just bought the rights. Yeah.
Now, to put into context, this movie, a lot of people will say, well, got inspired by Apollo 13. Not at all. When this was being made, we hadn't landed on the moon yet, I don't think. When it was released, we had. Apollo 13, when it launched, this film was still in theaters. And so there was a lot of coincidences going on with that. It is amazing. We're gonna have to do Apollo 13 one day. I love Apollo 13. Just I love the cast and just the drama of it all. But it is amazing how many people are behind all this stuff. The flight doctor, the communications, just all the minutia. And it all has to be go before they launch that sucker. That little piece of iconic footage of like that they had before that shot. Which was also seen in Star Trek Enterprise's opening. It's been a long road getting from there to here. Oops. Man, it'd be so cool to see those live. The shuttles and everything like that. I mean, never got to see one live get launched. Another piece of stock footage. It is amazing how much how much it takes to get such a little craft in orbit. There's this video game. Well, it's like a little time waster kind of a thing on. I think it was on my Kindle, where you make a rocket and you have different planetary gravities to deal with. You got to configure it so you can break into space. I could never get off of Jupiter. So Gene Hackman was still fairly new at this point, because his big breakout role was French Connection, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 1. This is another good one. Like I mentioned, Apollo 13. Right Stuff is a good one. Is a good film too. That's a long film. we'd have to start at like 6 to finish that one. That is, I read about this. That is such a wrong Mediterranean thing. It's barely got like a river between Africa and Spain. Richard Crenna. David Janssen. Wasn't he a Rat Packer? Let's see if he was a member of the Rat Pack or not. Or I'm thinking of somebody else, I think. Was it James Coburn? Somebody was a member of the Rat Pack. I can't remember. On the dark side. Oh yeah, it's kind of like the what was the name of the one we had? Skynet? Not Skynet. Skylab. Skynet. Take it slow. Give it a little kiss. Pucker up, baby. Whoop. I got lost deleted scenes here. Deleted scenes. If you can hear me, I lost your it says can't connect you without your mic or cam connection. Would you spend 2 months in space? I mean, 7 months in space? What my back would feel like. Stretch me out. You back?
I hope so.
There you are. You finally let me add you. It wouldn't let me add you.
Okay.
Of course, that at the time, I don't think they really did have that. It was in development, but I don't think they've really had one since. I think it was one of the Challenger missions that they did a test on one, the little extravehicular backpack thing. I mean, you would think it'd be a fairly simple use the same concept as the not the little those little thruster things. You know what they're called? Little retro thingies, little small ones. Can't think of their name.
No, for some reason I can't either. I feel like I should know that.
It's not a thruster. It's not a booster. Oh, I can't think what they were called. Little stabilizer. I don't know. But the concept, it's just little bursts of whatever to like get you going. I put it forward. So would you go to space if you had a chance?
Well, at one time, I'm not sure I would go now, though.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what it would do to my body, like my spine. But yeah, I mean, like in a perfect world, but like for 7 months in space, eating astronaut food at this time, which would have been terrible, I'm sure. Retro rockets, Jerry said. Is it retro rockets? I think it sounds right. Cancer risk. Be in space. Well, I guess with radioactivity being kind of different, shielding unknown. Gregory Peck would have made a great Vulcan. That's a weird thing to suddenly say, but Ethan. Where I get to, of course, Ethan Peck is on Strange New Worlds playing Spock, but now I can't look at Gregory Peck without picturing him with like pointy ears. So that's why they bring. That must be why they bring him back early, because they start getting a little nutty. Or as Ren from Ren and Stimpy used to say, space madness.
It's the part in the MST version where Crow's doing a like Gregory Peck impression. He's like, Hackman's really good in this.
I do remember an interview with Gene Hackman where he said he hated his performance in the Poseidon Adventure because he had come off of, I think, French Connection, and he was like the hot quality guy right at that point. And he went on that, and he thinks he overshot. Man, that's a very short little. I thought they would start that a little bit earlier than that. Oh well, what do I know? I'm not an astronaut. He's got a great voice. Capcom. Captain of Communications. I think that's what that means. It's always Cap something. Mm-hmm. Man, I love those. I love those sound effects. Step on the brakes. The RCS, I think it's another. tell you, man, one you up there and one little thing goes wrong. When the gremlins get into that bad boy, that word he said, "Olage," I think it has something to do with making sure you're going forward so that the fuel is actually able to burn, because there's like, it's not full of fuel, so you need to make sure the fuel is in the right position, like back towards the rocket. I read something about it when I was reading the thing. I was like, oh, what's that word for? Oh man, it disappeared again on me. You back?
I hope so.
Having
some issues.
you ain't got nowhere else to go. Yeah, that'd be a bad feeling. Think about being Gene Hackman. It's like, I'm up here. Now looks like I'm probably going to die between these two stinky men I've been with for 5 months. Uh oh, the wives.
Yes, the girls are here. Let's watch the hands, Janssen.
Mariette Hartley. It's Mariette Hartley, Nancy Kovac in the middle, and then Lee Grant's the first one that he was getting all touchy with. I think this was Nancy Kovac's last film. I think she did a couple TV things, but I think film-wise, this was it. No. No, you're not. Wow, they're a happy bunch. Look. The reporter's always looking for the worst aspect of the story. Ooh, hurricane. There's always a hurricane. Yeah, Gene Hackman's about to lose his mind, isn't he? He is not.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He is not treating. He's not treating that soup with much respect. Oh, I'm hearing myself on your end. Like on the board, do not erase. We'll never figure it out again. Gene, don't trust your heirs. Word to the wise. The cuts were so slow back then. Oh, MTV fast cuts. That guy's familiar. That military guy. did Star Trek? Frank Barth. I've seen him in something. Oh, he was in an episode of Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, all matter of numbers, man. Not even considering the human factor. See, I told you he'd make a great Vulcan. Sausage Fest movie. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's the 60s.
Okay, Al, I'm not quite sure if you can hear me,
I hear you.
but as you may be able to see out my window, we're having a bit of a storm ourselves.
Uh-oh.
And
It's
my
Hurricane
Wi-Fi is down,
Wilma.
so I cannot see the film.
Oh, man. Well, is it like out, or you hope for a reboot? Own physical media, folks.
Oh, hold on, I might be back. Hold on.
Old style police cars. Mr. President.
Like, yeah, I've got the president on the line, you know?
You know who's doing the voice of the president? Are you looking it up or do you know? For those who want to know, the voice of the president is being done by John Forsyth, also known as Charlie from Charlie's Angels. I bless the rains down in Africa. You know, that song, Toto's Africa gets a lot of guff sometimes, but man, I love that song. Ooh, fancy schmancy white helmets. Ooh. So they're going to go to sleep. They want them to sleep to use less oxygen. But if they do all that other stuff, they're going to eat up a couple hours of their oxygen. Man, this is like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Why don't they just ask Elon what he has available? Well, a little before Elon's time, sadly.
Houston 8, Cincinnati 4.
It does take a lot. I mean, you think when we had the shuttle, we had the two solid fuel, and we had the liquid fuel, and the shuttle itself. But this one, they've got like all the it's like stacking a deck of cards in 40 some hours. I wonder how fast we could actually get something up if we had to. You know what I mean?
Oh, indeed. And the thing that also has to be taken into account is what was considered science fiction for this film at that time
Right.
against what we can actually do now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little trade off. You know, there's a little science fiction here. I mean, we've seen it with the outside untethered thing that came along a lot later, but it does make you wonder. Even using SpaceX and Bezos and all those other guys, what they've got, how quickly could they get something to go and get up there into orbit? Now I know Bezos, his thing's more like a joyride. I mean, Musk is the one who's actually getting stuff up there regularly. I'm just wondering how quickly they can assemble a full-on rocket with a ship on it. Go Vegas. That'd be totally cool going to Vegas and landing in a spaceship in Vegas. I've always wanted to go to Vegas. I wish I had gone earlier. I was contemplating going once, and so I was like, no, maybe one day. Of course, sadly, my spinal cord had other plans. I mean, technically, I still could go. I just don't know how I would get there easily.
We'll come get you.
Well, I had I had a meeting the other day I had to go to, and we have what's called here, it's STS, the paratransit. You know, they've got the little elevator that, you know, you roll the wheelchair on, you go up and you back in there. That thing would make a great party bus for a handicapped person. You could trick that sucker out so well. It's like, man, get one of those. Couple friends head to Vegas. Could almost put a bed in there and lay down so I wouldn't be compressing my spine the entire time. That's the hard part for me, is sitting up.
Now, the scenes that the Space Travelers version leaves out are scenes like this. But the trouble with that is, this is all the tech stuff that explains everything.
Yeah, I mean,
and so it kind of makes a hash out of the story. It's kind of makes it hard to follow. It's like, what is happening right now? But they just told you, but the scene's not there anymore.
yeah, a little bit, but you know, it's I think, you know, what I'm always talking about a lot in my reviews sometimes is the pacing, or just being overly long. And when there are times you could cut things that really wouldn't affect it. I mean, you could cut some out of this film. But you do lose, like you said, a lot of it may sound like technobabble, but there are a lot of people that love that kind of stuff. Especially at this point for this film, it's so retro. When back then, this was like what was going on. It looks like a really cool simulator.
Oh, and remember that hurricane?
It's about that time of year, isn't it, where gotta kind of keep an eye on the Atlantic. Because you're like me, you're on the Atlantic coast, so anytime something pops up out there like a hurricane, you kind of keep a track on it.
This Omen prequel is weird.
The what prequel?
I said this Omen prequel is weird.
Oh.
This is something I actually do like, and when we missed this because I was I lost Wi-Fi there in the middle of the original briefing scene. You know what this is? This is professionals doing their job. They know what they have to accomplish, and then they also know what they have and what they don't have.
Right.
And when you throw now this hurricane into the mix, and that kills whatever plan they have.
Yeah. Well, I keep going back to Apollo 13. It's that line at the end when they're coming in, and he goes, "It's like, we got a cyclone out in the Pacific." It's like, do you think they'll miss it? It goes, only if they're It's like only if their luck changes or something like that. It's like because everything else has gone wrong. It's like might as well I land in a hurricane. But you were talking about the boarding scene, and I was sitting there. It's like it's all numbers. So like Gregory Peck's character, it's all about numbers. It'll take this long, this much, this many, and the numbers would not add up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Doherty gets David Jensen's character. He gets emotional about it, but he knows as well as Keith does that it's a matter of numbers, and the numbers are not going to add up. They're not going to get everybody down, regardless. There's no way in a situation like this.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, yeah.
Yeah.
But this ain't real. This is Hollywood. Back then it was like all wide open. Where the politicians, they only had one thing: beat the Russians to the moon. And after that, it became about the money. Imagine if we hadn't stopped, kept going.
Opens things up for the conspiracy theorists anyway.
Yeah. God, look at his eyes. I always love watching an actor's eyes. That was very cool.
Jim, can we go to Vox? Yeah, what's up, Stoney? I think that guy Buzz is weird.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, he looks like he's not that far from going cray cray. Oh no, it looks like the rocket that hurt Steve Austin when he became the $6 million man.
Well, I mean, same author, ultimately. So,
True.
meant to be in the same universe, perhaps?
I didn't think about that. I wonder if it is the same universe. Watch out for the pelican. Wonder why they painted it red. I wonder if that matters. I remember. Do you remember when the first shuttle launched?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You remember that the outer part of the fuel cell, the big fuel cell, was white, and then ever since then, it's always been like that reddish color. And I always wondered why. And one day I was reading, it's like they just decided not to paint it. To say it's like, why are we painting this thing? Because it's just going to get destroyed. Imagine sitting in that dang on thing with all those rocket engines behind you. It'd be like, whoa. The crash was 1986 winter. Talk about Challenger.
86, yes.
I remember Challenger. Yeah, I remember that, man.
Yeah.
I know exactly where I was. I was coming out of. It was a Tuesday. I was coming out of my abnormal psych class, and I was driving over to the cafeteria at St. Mary's College. That's where I went to college, and the radio says, "Well, they've lost contact with the shuttle. Seems to be a communications problem." I was like, "Oh, well, yeah." And I walk in, I see the footage, and I'm like, "That's not a communication problem. It's blown up." Man, she is a nice looking woman, Lee Grant. Like a little flip in her hair. But yeah, I remember Challenger. Man, that was a bad day. So a lot of people wouldn't remember. Man, it was like 86. That was, let's see, 20, well, it was 39 years? Yeah, 39 years ago. Wow. But that's kind of reminded me that it said that this movie was one of the inspirations behind Major Tom coming home. Hello, Major Tom. Are you receiving? Turn the flushes on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's got a very similar storyline. I always loved that song. Earth below us. Peter Schilling. Wow, pulled that one out of my brain. There was a remix done of that. It's still quite a while ago, but man, that was a good remix. I think it was a female singer. Imagine watching the man you love like losing hope.
Celia, hi. Does Dick know about us?
Also, Gene Hackman's married to Mariette Hartley. So Roddenberry, Lucas, Spielberg, all briefed by Galactic Federation, aliens about our future, alien races to Disney it up for mass consumption. I would feel like a voyeur if I were like in there listening to all this. Uh-oh. Yeah, he, he's gonna crack. You know, they make it back, he's never going up again.
Yeah, the psyche eval is not going to go well.
Yeah, he is. He has space madness. Yeah, we were talking about the other wives watching her husband. Man, you know that's rough. To see your husband like just losing his mind.
Yeah, he's gone full Shatner.
Yep. Yeah, he hits the wrong button. It's over. And see, unlike in Apollo 13, they had tasks to do. they had to build the scrubber and all these other things. Oh, full off hurricane.
One of my favorite DVD commentaries is the Jim and Marilyn Lovell commentary for Apollo 13. I
Oh,
very
wow.
highly recommend listening to that. Yeah, and kind of finding out just how close that movie came to getting everything right.
But you gotta give credit
Yeah.
for Hollywood for that.
Yeah.
And I had heard that rock you like a hurricane. I wonder if you're when you're sitting on the top of that thing during that much wind, if it rocks at all. Yeah, they say like strong wind like sky rises will actually feel like it sways a little. That'd be quite a view. When you get launched in that thing. Oh, they put a capsule. Oh man, that would wreck the view. Well, I guess you still got some view. Remember when I was younger, I always wondered why they always had that delay. It's like, if he's ready, just go. Hit the button. Boom. Everything is so darn calculated out. Go up too early or too late. Might overshoot. Never hook up. Uh-oh, with speed over 40. How confident would you be sitting on the top of something that was thrown together at the last minute?
Well, he's been confident enough thus far.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's the one that brought it up. And he's putting his butt where he's writing the check and he's hoping his butt will be able to cash it. North wind blows. Ugh. Damn.
I'm going to do what Greg does.
Well, he's no, let's get us out of this damn hurricane. He wants to punch that camera. Stop looking at me.
I drank too much Tang. Over.
Do they still make Tang?
I'm pretty sure they do.
I remember drinking that, feeling akin to the astronaut because I was doing that. Going to the Air and Space Museum in DC and buying the astronaut ice cream. Will the eye of the hurricane go over? What if they could get up then? Oh yeah, I think that's what happens. Oops, sorry. Spoiler.
I want this man savagely beaten. Good analogy. Numbers. I won the lottery. I quit. Mr. Liddy! Mr. Liddy! Mr. Liddy! Come on. Damn it, Carp, come on. Okay. Oh, there we go. And this is where the whole 55 minutes thing finally, that you've been advertising, finally kicks in.
They've got 55 minutes
Yeah.
to get their butt up there and get these guys out. Oh.
What about 2 men and a chihuahua?
It'll go. Hurricane Alma. I actually knew an Alma. I went to school with an Alma. Not a name you hear a lot anymore.
And Professor Pearson is moving to the other side of the disc now, perhaps to study it. Oh, wait. And we will land in lovely downtown Grover's Mills, New Jersey.
Light this candle.
I think we've passed it, but I think there's a scene where Alan Shepard actually is in this film.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I always find it kind of. I love the fact the first American in space, we'll say that, was an Allen, and an Allen also walked on the moon.
Yeah.
although they're spelled different than I do. Gregory Peck is getting fired up. It's like, go, go, go.
Fugitive 1 is officially in the air. Always with the negative wave, Stony. Of course, he's the scientist. He's thinking about it, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a choice. He knows.
I just feel like sardines at this point. I've got a can of. Do I have sardines? I got kippers. Maybe I'll have that for lunch tomorrow. How about Zeppelin lungs, Hackman? Yeah. Hell of a situation. Three of them there. One of them has to sacrifice themselves.
And hello to FKHC 2005. Good to see you finally at the
Yeah.
end. We were expecting you a little bit earlier there, pal.
Two big guys throw the little guy out. I'd be good with that.
I'll try that. Fabulous idea.
Too bad that little thing can't get there faster. Put a little extra fuel, go. They probably fly right by him. We'll go out for a little walk. And that was Scott. Was it Scott of Antarctica or something, or the Arctic? Do you know what I'm talking about? Some old British film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where they like realized they weren't going to make it. Like the food, they didn't have enough food. And the guy says something. It's like, well, we're going to take a little walk outside. He's saving your lives. I think it's doing something like that is going to use up a lot of oxygen, and he's dead. Oh, for a little duct tape.
We will send Mr. Stallone to retrieve you. And hello, Lady Mist.
Hey, Lady Mist. Oh. So you're saying she's single now? I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hearing myself. He got right to it, didn't he? Your husband is dead. Yeah, he's dead, Jim.
And he shot himself.
But if you'd like to get a cup of coffee later.
Stony, am I here? Yes, Buzz, you're here. Janssen under the line? I don't think so.
God, that would be a bad feeling. Not very bright. It's going to feel like the longest 6 minutes of his life.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh show. Sorry. All right. I'm back. Tim says, suddenly your riff in space happens and they end up on the Planet of the Apes. Yeah. That would have been an ending.
This Beneath the Planet of the Apes prequel is weird.
Your script changes, Mr. Peck. Thank you. Thank you.
Back when you had to drink and smoke coffee to work at NASA.
Dude, Stony cubed it. Scrubby bubbles on approach.
Oxygen deprivation is a bitch. Oh no, it's the Russians. So you can just stop in space. I mean, relatively to each other, it's like they stopped. They're just both going at the same speed at the same time. Open the hatch. What's in the box? Oh, sorry. Flip it out. Wrong movie.
Deus Ex Russian here. It's like, great, Sergey, where were you 2 days ago? Hey, did you know that I'm Longstreet?
Bringing over valuable oxygen to Americans.
Yeah. Good one.
Pull the Gus Grissom. Blow the hatch. Wee. Yeah. I figured, Tim said he's stoned. Yeah, they're pretty stoned, all right. Go throw them on over. And, launch. Oh, now my friends are getting chatty. Earth below us, drifting, falling, floating, weightless. I mean, do you think it would have been a cool ending if, like they did the Rogue One ending, basically?
Maybe.
Are you laughing at me?
Have you seen Retroblasting's video on Rogue One yet?
No, not yet.
Oh man.
If people are wondering, I haven't had a review this week. I've been reading a Star Wars book for a book study I'm going to be doing with Professor Geek. Yoda Dark Rendezvous.
Oh, right on.
He's like a surfboard. We go all Dark Star.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of the guys you're looking for.
God, guys. Can you give him oxygen to see? Could you hook him up? Because you can like share it, I think. Oh, they just want his own little tube. Another little space fact: this was an inspiration for the Apollo Soyuz mission. If anybody remembers that from the 70s.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they had to figure out to make sure they had the right kind of connect. That's the one thing I think, did they mention that they didn't have a way to dock? But that was one of the things they worked for in the for the Apollo Soyuz mission, was they had to have the correct connection, a possibility. So the pressure of the ships is different too, especially at this point with Iron Man 1. Who knows what's going on with their atmosphere? Ooh, got him close. Ah, sweet air. They're not home yet.
Half man, half baby. Good work, everyone. Good work. You'll see me next in McKenna's Gold. In the meantime, I'm got a date tonight. Lee Grant, very lucky widow. Good night. Well done, everybody. Well done. Thank you.
So the Russian ships have different pressure. They use real air. Oh yeah, I remember reading something about that. The Russian goes off on his merry way, leaving Iron Man 1 alone to eventually fall to Earth and crumble and die. With and poor Richard Crenna out there floating, a floating corpse. What would happen? I wonder what would happen with him. Would he eventually? He'd probably eventually get drawn into Earth's gravity and just, I guess, like just working on a field one day and suddenly you've got, a dead astronaut in your yard. And that is, that's a funny way to end it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off Cosby.
Yeah, same.
But that is, I'm hearing myself, Lisa. Oh, thank you. Sorry. That is Maroon 1969, before Apollo 13 was even in thought. that issue was going on. This has come out just a few months before that, so definitely kind of an odd premonition. What do they call it? Not a premonition, but kind of like it's just a kooky coincidence with it. So deleted scenes, what do you got coming up this week?
All right. Well, I have Western Cinema Presents with Outlaw Bill, and we are going to be watching part 1 of the Lonesome Dove prequel, Comanche Moon.
Ooh.
With Carl Urban, Steve Zahn, Linda Cardellini, Wes Studi, and Val Kilmer. And later on in the evening at 8 p.m., my show Unscripted. And then even later on that night, Bill's going to be joining me as my guest on Reserved Seats at 12:05. And then catch me on Tuesday for Live from Sparkwood and 21, my Twin Peaks retrospective series, where I'll be joined by Trey Pacelli, Netters Network, and Age Boomer.
Very cool. Very cool. And as for me, of course, join me tomorrow night when I'll be joining Netter on Netter's Network's Retro Cinema. We're going to be watching 4 Rooms, starring Tim Roth. Really good film about a poor little bellhop who's kind of gets involved in all kinds of issues in a hotel on his first day at work. I think it's his first day. I think that's part of it. And of course, next Saturday is my night for Films with Friends again at 10 p.m. on Saturday, on the whatever day that is. What is the 17th, I think? Well, whatever next Saturday is. It's at 10 o'clock. We're going to be watching Fantastic Voyage from Another one from the 60s. Don't know what the exact year that came out, but it stars Raquel Welch and Stephen Boyd, Donald Pleasance, shrinking down and going inside of a person to try to eliminate a medical issue. It's a really classic film. Of course, 2 weeks after that, we're going to do Inner Space, which is kind of the same thing, but a few twists here and there. Of course, I announced early on, just putting it out there, on June 20th, going to be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws here on Films with Friends that Friday night, June 20th. It's at 7 p.m. Going to be watching the absolute original summer blockbuster Jaws. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, the week before that, June 13th, Friday the 13th, it is the only Friday the 13th this year. So, or at least the only one left for the rest of the year, if I am not mistaken. And we are going to be watching, I think it is the final chapter, which of course it's not, but that's what they called it. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. We're going to be watching that. And then, of course, whenever they have another Friday the 13th, we're going to watch that as well. Not sure what we're going to watch in 2 weeks on Friday night. We'll figure out something. We always seem to. Me and Delita will discuss it. If you guys have any suggestions, throw them on in the chat. We'll of course think about it. Who knows? And we got any final words, Delisa?
All right. Well, I would just like to thank everyone who joined us here tonight, watching this classic film, which actually did get a couple of Oscar nominations. People, this movie gets hacked on, but at the time it was considered kind of state of the art. So, yeah,
it actually won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects.
Oh, right on. Well, there you go.
Yep.
All right. So, I hope for those of you who have only seen the Mystery Science Theater version, I hope you enjoyed this uncut, unadulterated, the way the movie was intended version. Also, I do want to thank everybody for bearing with me. We had a storm that started in the middle of the show. It knocked my Wi-Fi out. I had to switch to my phone here, which is why my sound has been kind of wonky.
It's a matter of art imitating life. We had a hurricane in the movie that was preventing, all the, the rescue attempt, and we had a storm in Delisine's area preventing him. I mean, life is a movie, and movie is life.
Very much so.
That's weird. But
I'm in the Truman Show. I knew it.
But I want to thank you, Delisine's, for joining in tonight. I want to thank everybody who who joined us tonight. Lady Miss, JP, RPH1, Tim, Jerry Lahane, everybody who popped in just to check out the film and have a good time. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, send me a message on X, or we'll think. We always try to think of something fun to watch, which is, of course, one of my taglines. Always try to find something fun to watch. Keep an eye out for any kind of movie review. Like I said, haven't really had a chance to watch much by way of movies this week because I've been reading a book for a book study. Kind of takes me a while to get through it, to read a book. I have squirrel syndrome. Squirrel. So I get easily I get easily distracted when I'm reading a book. But yeah, just keep an eye out. I'm sure I'll come across something to watch and do a review on. Plus, I'm also checking out Andor. I think it's got one more week, so I'm definitely going to do a review on Andor. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Just remember to tune in at 10 p.m. tonight for Last Call with Troy Pacelli. Always a good time. I think they're talking James Bond tonight. So that should be a lot of fun. Hope everyone has, like I said, a great weekend, a great week ahead. Take care, everyone. As always, find something fun to watch. Take care. Love you all.